As an initial step in learning professional indicators, today we'll cover Ichimoku Cloud Indicator, its components, and some techniques to use it during our analysis. Hey everyone! We are in the 7th episode of our free chart riders course. Today we'll talk about some advanced understandings of indicators. I'm sure during the previous 6 sessions you know the fundamentals of indicators and their functionality. So it's time to learn some professional indicators. I've already mentioned in the previous sessions that there are tons of indicators, but they either are useless or non-profitable, or are a branch of, the indicators we are covered in this course for you. The next session, we'll talk more about professional tips of using this Ichimoku and its cloud in our analysis. Before moving to the chart, I want to share some more details about Ichimoku and Ichimoku Cloud. First of all, you may wonder these two are totally safe, but actually they aren't. Ichimoku Kinko Hyo was originally developed to combine various technical strategies into a single indicator that could be easily implemented and interpreted. In Japanese, Ichimoku translates to one look, meaning traders only have to take a look at the chart to determine momentum, support, and resistance. Ichimoku may look very complicated to novice traders that haven't seen it before, but the complexity quickly disappears with an understanding of what the various lines mean and why they are used. The Ichimoku indicator is best used in conjunction with other forms of technical analysis, despite its goal of being an, all-in-one indicator. There are 5 key components to the Ichimoku indicator. The first one is called Tenkan-san. The Tenkan-san, or conversion line, is calculated by adding the highest high and the lowest low over the past 9 periods and then dividing the results by 2. The resulting line represents a key support and resistance level, as well as a single line for reversals. Second is called Kijun-sen. The Kijun-sen, or the baseline, is calculated by adding the highest high and the lowest low over the past 26 periods and dividing the results by 2. The resulting line represents a key support and resistance level, a confirmation of a trend change, and it can be used as a trailing stop-loss point. The third one is called Senku Span A. The Senku Span A, or leading span A, is calculated by adding the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, dividing the results by 2, and then plotting the result 26 periods ahead. The resulting line forms one edge of Komo, or cloud, that's used to identify future areas of support and resistance. The fourth one is called Senku Span B. The Senku Span B, or a leading span B, is calculated by adding the highest high and the lowest low over the past 52 periods, dividing it by 2, and then plotting the result 26 periods ahead. The resulting line forms the other edge of the Komo cloud that's used to identify future areas of support and resistance. The last component is called Chiku span. The Chiku span, or lagging span, is the current period's closing price plotted 26 days back on the chart. This line is used to show possible areas of support and resistance. I mentioned this again that these names do not have any trading values and they are not that much important while you are trading. So until here, we learned that Ichimoku indicator has 5 lines, each of them showing a specific piece of information. Now it's time to move to my screen to see these lines. Right now I'm in Ethereum's chart with 4 hours time frame, and after we move to the indicators section, we type Ichimoku. Actually, it's also one of my favorites. And we can choose Ichimoku Cloud from the group of technicals. Once we click on it, Ichimoku is going to be applied on our chart. Remember that for the first time, if you want to apply Ichimoku on your trading view, it's not going to be pure in this way. I actually modified the settings just in order to show the different parts of it. So We move to the settings, and I want to bring the settings here. Okay, perfect. The blue line here, it shows the conversion line. The orange one that now you can see is the baseline. The green line shows the lagging span, as we have talked about. And these red and yellow lines elaborate leading spans. Actually, we have talked about what these lines show earlier. When we are saying Ichimoku, most of the people think of Ichimoku cloud, but there are differences among these. Until here, we saw the definitions and the usage of Ichimoku, but Ichimoku cloud is a collection of technical indicators that show support and resistance levels, as well as momentum and trend direction. It does this by taking multiple averages and plotting them on a chart. It also uses these figures to compute a cloud that attempts to forecast where the price may find support or resistance in the future. The Ichimoku cloud was developed by Guichi Hosoda, a Japanese journalist that published Ichimoku cloud in the late 1960s. It provides more data points than the standard candlestick chart. While it seems complicated at first glance, those familiar with how to read the chart often find it really easy to understand with well-defined trading signals. Necessary to highlight that the cloud is a key part of this indicator. When the price is below the cloud, the trend is down, and when the price is above the cloud, the trend is up. Let's move to my screen to elaborate the cloud more for you. In order to see the cloud of Ichimoku, we need to come to the settings of this indicator and check plots background down here. Once I check this option, you can see that the cloud is appeared on my chart. And here you can see my chart actually, and it's really untidy. I'm not used to see the chart in this way. So I want to uncheck all of these baselines, lagging spans, and leading spans. Yes, this is my chart, but this is what I want. The only thing that stays on my chart is the Ichimoku cloud. There are some points that we need to know, first of all, before going to the details about Ichimoku cloud. The first thing is that when the overall trend of the price is up, it's ascending, the price is going to be above the Ichimoku cloud, and you can see green clouds here. And once the Ichimoku realizes that the price entered to the bullish trend, you are going to see actually red clouds, and it means the price entered to the descending trend. If you pay attention here, let me zoom in a little bit so that it's going to be much more clear for you. If you pay attention to this area, exactly to this part, we call it trendless or transitioning area. It means the Ichimoku cloud doesn't show actually anything, and if it shows, it has, low depth of clouds, and it means the price is somehow indecisive. So the Ichimoku cannot actually detect whether it is in the bullish trend or bearish trend. Traders will often use the Ichimoku cloud as an area of support and resistance, depending on the relative location of the price. The cloud provides support and resistance levels that can be projected into the future. This sets the Ichimoku cloud apart from many other technical indicators that only provide support and resistance levels for the current date and time. In order to show you more examples, let's go to Bitcoin chart. So I type BTC USDT. Perfect. Here is the Bitcoin chart, again with the 4 hours time frame, but I want to make it daily. So I just want to, use this indicator in a different time frame. As you can see, there are some points that emerge once we change the time frame. For example, when we were in 4 hours time frame, we cannot really face this, this gap in the Ichimoku cloud. In this section, as the Ichimoku cloud cannot really recognize whether the price is in bullish or bearish or the depth of the market. So it doesn't really show what's happening here in bigger time frames, in larger time frames. I mean, once the price has shown, certain amount of data, and Ichimoku could calculate the price information, it can show us, a very deep bearish cloud. If you look at the price here, you can see that the price, the candles in this part are somehow indecisive. It's just dancing around. But generally, the price, the Ichimoku cloud says that the price is entering to the bullish trend. But what we can understand from the candles, we see that, it's just having somehow kind of pullback, which can be a failure as well. But relying on the Ichimoku cloud, we can, make sure about the bullish trend, and you can see the price has shown overall bullish movements. Regarding the depth of the clouds, I want to mention that the depth of the clouds actually show the strength of the trends. The more deep clouds we see in the chart, the more strong trend is, actually. If you pay attention to this part, for example, it's totally clear that the Bitcoin was having a correction here. And as you can see, in the initial periods, Ichimoku cloud doesn't show that much, depth. And relying on the technical analysis and price action, we can see that the price is just touching the static support line. But once we move forward and we can see that the price has passed this static support line with enough strength, at the same time we can see that the Ichimoku cloud shows the price correction with a very deep cloud. Conversely, the same scenario occurs here. You can see that at first. Let me zoom in a little bit so that it's going to be much more clear for you guys. Give me a second, please. Yeah. If you pay attention to this area, you can see that the cloud of Ichimoku for a bullish trend doesn't have that much strength, doesn't have that much depth. But as we move forward, once the Ichimoku cloud realizes that it is a valid bullish signal and it's going to be consistent, it increases the depth of the clouds gradually. Crossovers are another way that the indicator can be used. Considering the conversion, you need to pay excessive attention to the conversion line and the baseline. In order to elaborate the conversion for you, I come to the settings and I enable the conversion line and the baseline. Let me check the settings. Yes, they are totally visible. Now I have conversion line, which is the blue line, and the baseline, which is colored in orange line in my chart. Plus, I have the Ichimoku cloud here. Watch for the conversion line to move above the baseline, especially when the price is above the cloud. So, we have learned that the conversion in Ichimoku means the baseline moves, the conversion line moves above the baseline, especially when the price is above the cloud. I think I found some examples for you here. If you pay attention to this section of my chart, you can see that in this part, exactly in this point, the blue line overpasses the orange line, which means the conversion line passes the baseline. Okay. Now, we said that it can be a very good buy signal, and we can go long here, but we don't have one confirmation, and that is it should be above the cloud. It should be outside of the cloud so that it can be confirmed. So I move my entry point here, and let me check it for you. If I enter exactly here, you can see that I can be with the price until the point that the conversion line goes below the baseline. Actually, conversion line here comes below the baseline, but it's because I see weakness and I know that the price cannot go down according to this doji candle here. So I keep my position, and the best point to exit is exactly this part, because we can see the price descends with a very big Marabuzo candle. On the other hand, the conversion line goes below the baseline, so it's better, to exit the position. Let me show you another example of crossovers, but in a different chart with a different time frame. So let's go to Ethereum's chart. I think I just found a very good example of crossovers in Ethereum's chart. Let me zoom in a little bit so that it's going to be clear. 1 second, yes. Let's consider this point. Exactly, this is the collision part somehow. We can see that the conversion line surpasses the baseline, or apparently we can say that the blue line surpasses the orange line. In this point, exactly, this is the collision part. But we can see that the candles are in the cloud. So we have half of the confirmation from the indicator, but we don't have full confirmation. And we said that the full confirmation is approved once the price moves outside of the cloud. Or let's say if we want to go long, the price moves above the cloud. So I wait for the price to come up, and here can be my entry. 1 second, let me show you exactly this part. So once we enter to this position, we can see a huge amount of profit, and it's totally clear that the conversion line even doesn't come closer to the baseline until this point. Exactly here. The ones who watched our Market Touch course and can analyze the market with the price, they can easily recognize that this is the turning point and the price wants to go down and have a correction. So they have already exited the price here. But those who applied the indicator on their chart, we can see that once with a very big candle, the price comes down and descends. Here is the point that we need to exit our position. It's time to have a quick summary. At the beginning of this session, we got familiar with different parts of Ichimoku indicator and its components. Later, we realized what Ichimoku cloud is and how to make it visible on the chart. We also learned about formulas and the coverage of each line of Ichimoku for you. As initial steps of interpreting Ichimoku cloud in advanced way, we said that the cloud is a key part of the indicator, and when the price is below the cloud, the trend is down. And when the price is above the cloud, the trend is up. Or technically we call it bullish. And finally, we talked about crossovers in Ichimoku, which was about the collided points of conversion line and the baseline. The assignment that I have for you guys is to move to the chart and apply Ichimoku on various assets, compose the cloud, and double check if the cloud's color is changed at the beginning of a trend reversal or not. At the same area later, hide the cloud and check for crossovers to see if you can get a confirmation or not. In order to be pro at this, you have to apply and check in at least 10 assets so that you can get the overall trend by having a glimpse of the cloud. Try not to limit yourself to the indicator's components as well. Try to investigate the behavior of each Ichimoku line in different price phases. The next session, we'll talk about some advanced tips about Ichimoku cloud and that they have trading values and are also mentioned in the prominent book called Ichimoku Secrets by Kiana Daniel. But remember, you need to be totally dominant on today's topic to be able to get use of the next session's tips. Don't hesitate to ask your questions here on the comments section, as our team are always here for you to respond. See you soon. Trade break.